and got the call, I'm gonna die in 7 days. I think there's only a few things you can actually do. Welcome back to whatever this is. My name is Kaysa. I'm online, and today I am wearing a regular old t-shirt, and it's 80 degrees out. Like, why is that happening? It was just 30 degrees, but now it's 80, so I'm guess fall hasn't figured itself out just yet. I think I'm going to continue with this run of giving my thoughts on how to either solve or approach situations based on the whatever context and amount of information that I happen to have. I'm having a lot of fun with this actually. Just thinking about how I would solve a problem or approach it based off of whatever I have around me. Today, we're going to talk about The Ring. Now, The Ring is pretty iconic. I pretty much know the synopsis of it, but I'm going to go ahead and read it for you. Anyway, when her niece is found dead along with 3 friends after viewing a supposedly cursed videotape, reporter Reiko sets out to investigate. She finds the tape, watches it, and receives a phone call informing her that she'll die in a week. To be honest, if I was told that a videotape is cursed and then I found like 4 dead people, I probably would just not watch it. But I think the best way you can actually approach this is in 2 different fashions. One is kind of rude, but it can get the job done. And then the second one is kind of more like a accepting of the situation for the most part. I'll go with the accepting of the situation first because I think that could be a little bit more interactive, a little bit more fun, less guilty conscious based by the end of the day, at least for me. I am to understand that the videotape is cursed, right? But also relatively haunted. Like, cursed objects could also just relatively be haunted. Cursed meaning the ghost is set within the videotape. I know that's not necessarily how curses are, but I'm going to treat it like that. The way that I would just accept this if I was already exposed to it, right? And got the call, I'm gonna die in 7 days. I think there's only a few things you can actually do. One, you can probably try to burn the videotapes. I know a lot of curses involves trying to solve the problem. A lot of curses involve either solving the problem in the first place, why it got cursed in the first place, or trying to break the curse. And I think a combination of burning and just straight up salt and burning. Did you do the initial? But that's my first reaction is that of course, you have to go solve the curse, but if I'm literally in a time crunch of 7 days, I don't know if I'll be able to solve the curse. I am not an investigative reporter like Reiko is, so you can only do so much. So my literal real answer after trying to burn and salt things, I am not kidding, is to go on Reddit. The second thing that I would actually do, because the scenario is that Reiko goes and finds the cursed videotape after her niece and her 3 friends have died watching it, right? The first thing I would genuinely think of doing is getting somebody else to watch the tape. I truly do mean curse someone else, but not just anyone else. This does kind of have that guilty conscience aspect, but whoever genuinely deserves it. I'm not gonna make any allegations for some certain famous names that are now up in the mix about some horrible things that they've done and are probably going to see prison for the rest of their life. You can pick and choose actually who that might actually be. We've got a lot of bad people on this planet. And then what you would do is send them the tape, lying to them saying that if they just watch the tape, then you'll like pay their bail or you'll help them or you'll have like new evidence or whatever that's going to help them get out of jail or out of a situation. Like, you really do sit here and put the tape as the golden ticket that all you have to do is watch a film that I made, I'm your biggest fan, and then you don't because they're cursed, and you know it doesn't really matter because they're going to die in like 7 days or whatever. And then you observe them and then you just figure out what happens. And I think that's the best way to do it. You watch them perish because the goal is, again, to find someone who is objectively guilty and unpleasant, not makes you uncomfortable, not irritates you, nothing so petty. I mean, like, this person I'm not saying he's working with the devil, but he's given the vibes based on the track history. But of course, you'll have that guilty conscience because you can never truly know if someone did something unless, of course, there's video proof. Obviously, we have video proof nowadays. Outside of video proof, you just never know. But that's what I would do. I think I've yapped long enough. So you have literally two options. Based on the information we were given, is that you have a videotape that's cursed. You can burn it and salt it, and then go on Reddit and see who can already solve this thing, because that's how you start your research. You go on Reddit for someone who's already solved the problem, or you just give the tape to somebody who is just, society just doesn't need, objectively, okay? Just society objectively doesn't need. And it's not like you're killing them. They just, gonna watch the video and you're gonna observe, like a little experiment. That's all. Well, with that being said, what would you do in the situation of the ring? You haven't watched the video yet, so you really could just toss it, bury it, like, at the bottom of the ocean or something like that. But what would you do? How would you approach it? Let me know in the comments down below. I appreciate you for watching, and like, comment, and subscribe. I don't know why I froze there.